Well, we're going to go to Washington for our final question. We'll talk with Wendy. Hi, Wendy. What do you got for us?
Hi, Dr. Farley. Thank you so much for taking my call. And I agree with the previous caller. I just really appreciate you and all the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
My question is from the book of Proverbs. I don't have the exact reference on me, but it's the verse where it says, the first one says, never answer a fool or you will become foolish yourself. And then right after that, the very next verse says, always answer a fool so they don't become wise in their own estimation. I believe it's something like that. But I can see how they both make sense, but at the same time, they kind of contradict each other. So I was just wondering if you could kind of shed some light on that.
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you, Wendy, and thanks again for that encouragement. Well, we're talking about Proverbs chapter 26, right there in verses 4 and 5. And these two verses, you're right. I mean, at first glance, it seems like a total contradiction. The first verse, verse 4, says, don't answer a fool. And then the second verse says, answer a fool. So you just want to say, hey, wait, Solomon, come on. What are you doing here? You're contradicting yourself. You say, don't answer a fool, but then you say, answer a fool? Well, let's get a little context here. The first passage says, don't answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him. In other words, if someone's furious and they're out of control or they're acting like a fool, to join them at that level of discourse, just acting like a child, acting immature, lashing out, just a he said, she said kind of argument kind of thing or whatever, trying to be right, trying to win, trying to one up the other person. It's all fleshly. It's all ego. And then the next verse, it says, answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. So that's saying that sometimes the loving thing to do is help another person see how ridiculous they're being because you're actually doing them a favor. You're going to help them see that they don't need to carry on in that same vein for the rest of their lives because they need to rethink something. So at first glance, sure, they may seem contradictory. Verse 4 advises against engaging a fool in a way that lowers yourself. And then the other hand, you got verse 5, and it's basically saying there's times. There's times where it's necessary to address a fool's folly to prevent them from becoming conceited and arrogant or thinking that they're wise. Or maybe you're rescuing an entire crowd from following a fool by standing up for the truth. So, challenging passage, but not truly contradictory. That's what I love about the scriptures. There's so many people, not you, Wendy, of course, but I mean, there's people out there who throw stones at the veracity of scripture, and they say, oh, the Bible contradicts itself. Well, I love that you brought this passage because, it's two verses back to back. And it just, again, like Solomon is not trying hard to put forth a good reputation. I mean, he's just being real. He doesn't care if people throw stones at this. He's being real. Verses 4 and 5 don't contradict each other, and he's just being clever with human language to say, don't answer a fool or you'll lower yourself to his level. But wait a minute, you could answer a fool if it helps free people from following that fool, or if it helps that person realize the error of their ways. So I love that you brought this up for us, my friend, and reach out there in Washington anytime. Appreciate your encouragement, your support, your friendship. Call us back anytime, Wendy.